Back with you now on Listens Live. We have important messaging coming your way from Jim Desmond at the Desmond Law Office, joining us here on set.
Hey,
thank you so much for being here. And look, we just got out of a holiday weekend where you knew drivers were everywhere. We're dealing with people from out of town, maybe that don't know our roads. What was the holiday weekend like for you in the law office?
A little crazy. I use my cell phone for everything, and people can get hold of me. So it's funny because I love cars. I was washing an old Datsun, before your time.
Yeah. That's before Nissan, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Very old thing or two.
But again, a client called, and it wasn't even a client, potential client. And we took the time, to talk about it and say, well, this is what's going on. And even later that night, I was able to get in the police report. For me, the holidays. The reason I use my cell phone is if you've been in a car accident, you're the one that needs the immediate advice. And I don't want you getting it from paralegal. I don't want you getting it from a secretary. I don't want you getting it from a call center.
The internet.
No, exactly. I want you to get somebody who does car wreck law, and that's all I do. I don't do any other kind of law. And so while it was a little crazy, I enjoy the fact that I get to concentrate on my cases. It's a little quieter, and then if people are in an accident, we can even meet with them over the weekend or schedule something, so.
I think it shows a lot too, though, because if you're involved in a car accident, these are some of the most vulnerable moments. Maybe if you're the person who's in the accident, you're not going to be thinking necessarily clearly. You're just worried about what's at hand. So to have somebody in your corner who is willing to hand out their cell phone number, work on holidays, work on the weekends, what is that like to your clients, to put them at ease at a situation when they're going through a lot already?
Well, and you hit it on the nose because it only takes 10 minutes because it literally, they don't know what it's like. I mean, our car is our second biggest purchase. We use it every day to go everywhere.
Especially now.
Exactly. Average new car or something is $40,000. It's insane. But again, if you take 10 minutes to say, okay, this is not only what the game plan would be, but also even if I can get the police report faster, because they always are told it takes 5 to 10 days, you can get it faster depending on the circumstances. It puts them a little bit at ease to kind of know which way to go with it. And that's part of it. That's why, with my cell phone, people can call me, they can text me, they can do either one, I don't care. But that's the biggest issue is just, being able to get immediate advice because you'll learn as you interview me over the time.
Okay.
I badmouth big firms, okay, and because I used to be with one, and I see it's kind of a factor and you can't get a hold of people, but that's just it. You need to be able to get hold of your attorney directly and ask them. And most of my clients, they have my cell phone the whole time. They all do. But they're very respectful of it. They don't, generally speaking, I don't hear calls at 8 o'clock on a Friday night. They try to do what they can to keep it, before 5. But if there's something going on, I want them to be able to call me, and I want them to feel at ease. I don't want them to be worrying about it for 3 days, so.
As somebody who has your background, who's seen things from the big side, who's seen it from how you are answering your phone at all times, a piece of advice coming from you is going to mean something. So when you tell people you need to prepare before the worst case scenario, can you talk about how important that really is?
Yeah, and it's boring, but it's so important. It's uninsured and underinsured coverage on your own automobile policy. People need to understand the law is not fair. It endeavors to be fair, it does not succeed. And so the state minimum in Kentucky is $25,000 per person, okay? So again, you can get hit by a drunk driver, he can send you to the hospital, you could have a $80,000 surgery, and his insurance company says, sorry for your luck, here's the $25,000 in coverage. And the only way I'm going to recover more is to go against what we call underinsured on your own policy. And to counter sometimes what we do or we see on the TV ads, it's not about a lottery ticket. It's that when I'm talking about recovering, I'm talking about my clients' damages, their out-of-pockets, their co-pays, their deductibles, their lost wages, those things. That's what makes a personal injury claim. And so, yes, before you even, like right now, with the summer coming on, if you have a motorcycle, an RV, multiple vehicles, you add to take them on, whatever it is, you look at your policy and you tell your insurance agent $100,000 per person of uninsured and underinsured coverage. That coverage will step in. They'll give me the same hard time on your case, but your insurance company will act as if they insure the uninsured driver, or if I can't recover enough over here because the guy didn't have enough insurance, you lost your left arm in a wreck, I can go against that your policy to recover more down the road. So it's essential to kind of being safe on the road in the summer.
It's great advice, Jim. And on a personal note, something important that happened in your life, you just became a new grandfather.
I'm thrilled.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you too. I understand you have a newborn as well. So
4 months old, and so as we're showing photos here, Evelyn Marie,
Evelyn Marie.
Can you talk to folks about how, look, you've been at this a long time. How does having, looking at this picture, bring a new perspective to your work and bring maybe some fresh ideas to a way that you have always looked at how you handle these cases?
Well, I mean, I don't know about the fresh ideas, but it's the same concept that we don't want, a good personal injury attorney doesn't want you to be in a car wreck,
right?
Okay, or any injured period, because again, the worse your injuries, the better your personal injury claim. Well, I've never seen a client go through it and say, this has been worth it. It's not. So that's one reason I'm getting back to the cell phone and why I want them to get hold of me and get the direct advice and the game plan, because again, we're trying to formulate a game plan to basically minimize your medical bills, minimize what comes out of your settlement. And in the same respect, get you back to work, get you the treatment you need. How are we going to do that? We're going to use the no-fault coverage. We're going to use your health insurance coverage. And when it comes to, the family, I mean, I have 2 kids that 18 and 22 that are still in my auto policy. And I know it's expensive. And I know that what I say earlier about the uninsured and underinsured, people are like, it's so costly as it is. We got to do it. We just got to bite the bullet. Because again, if God forbid anybody's in an accident.
Right.
Okay? I don't want to be in an accident. Ex-girlfriend called me over the weekend, too. As a matter of fact, her daughter was in an accident. She's not going to do a claim, but that's fine. We gave her advice. We got her on track. But at least people need to know their options, and they need to have, they need to know what their options are, and those options are set back to what we were just talking about before you ever get in the car. And no personal injury attorney in town can tell you that not having that uninsured and underinsured coverage is bad. It's good advice. Every attorney in town would agree with that.
We have 15 seconds. As a new grandfather, that fatherly advice that you gave about the infant car seat, what is it? How important is it?
Absolutely essential. My daughter took it to the fire department and got it installed correctly and everything. So yeah, she did that, and I'm still looking at crash test results of her car, whether it's good enough.
It's good to have someone like you in the family and on your side as a client as well.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us.